tell you, Hugo, when you talk about rivalries, look at the man standing in the ring right there, not there, but there is Frank Brody, one of the biggest rivalries ever in the sport of professional wrestling, the late Frank Brody and Abdullah the Butcher, and look at it. It takes no time for them to go to town, and Frank Brody, if there's ever a man in the sport of professional wrestling that can handle Abdullah the Butcher one-on-one, it's that big man right there on your screen.
Both use the same method of intimidation, of destruction in the ring, and not only that, but the great wrestling ability that they possess and the big names that they had over Australia, in Canada, United States, Japan, big legends of professional wrestling, and of course, that would bring him up to that feud of who was the better one, and believe me, they had some great encounters. Bruiser Brody, a great friend of mine, Abdullah the Butcher, two tremendous wrestlers. Here is one match taking place in Kawas, and the fans were up for it.
I tell you what, Hugo, you know, I've seen through my travels over the States and the Caribbean, I've seen Frank Brody and Abdullah the Butcher battle in Kansas City, Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri, Dallas, Texas, Fort Worth, Texas.
They had some great ones in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, yeah, San Antonio, Texas, Puerto Rico. I mean, any place that ever had these two men. And look at that look on Abdullah the Butcher, bleeding profusely. If there ever was a man that could handle the Butcher like he's being handled right now, it's that great man in the ring who was a very good friend of mine, Bruiser Frank Brody. And there Abdullah the Butcher pulls out the object, and it just goes to show you that even Frank Brody can be susceptible to the use of that fork right there.
Okay, fans, you might notice some failures in our tape. This match trying to be rescued by ENG Productions, so you could witness some of these great rivalries, have the opportunity to see these great wars that were almost erased by the people in charge at the time before ENG got the rights to produce this matches and for this VHS. The important thing right here is that Abdullah the Butcher has used his foreign object to attack Bruiser Brody.
That's right. You know, Hugo, just like you said, the quality of this tape has a little bit of, to be desired. But, you know, really, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't make any difference because this is a historic tape right here, an historic match. Anytime you see Abdullah the Butcher and Bruiser Brody in the ring together, the late Bruiser Brody, it's something that has to be preserved regardless of what kind of condition it's in. And I don't think the people out there are going to have any problems with it because, hey, you got two of the giants in the sport of professional wrestling going at each other like there's no tomorrow. And as far as that's concerned, the video could be barely unseeable and it'd still be worth watching.
Well, it's just my duty here to just let the fans know that we do notice the problems, that we don't want them to jump up and adjust their VHS because it has nothing to do with their VHS. Let's go back into the match. Abdullah the Butcher all over Bruiser Brody, the big giant Brody, in one of these great battles with Abdullah the Butcher. Look at Abdullah. Awesome. Abdullah the Butcher over the strong Frank Bruiser Brody.
Ooh, I tell you what, you know, just like I said, Frank Brody's the one that could handle Abdullah the Butcher, but on the other hand, Abdullah the Butcher is one of the few people that can handle the big Bruiser Brody the way he's handling him right now, because Bruiser Brody's trademark was going out and beating people up, and nobody did it any better than he did. But Abdullah the Butcher has kind of got him going a little bit right now. But I have a feeling that Frank Brody is going to find exactly what it takes to stop Abdullah the Butcher. And, you know, right here, they're outside the ring. And every match I've ever seen of Frank Brody and Abdullah the Butcher, it didn't stay in the ring very long.
It went to ring trucks, TV trucks, dressing rooms, into the audience. They did not stop, and believe me, if Abdullah could take some punishment, Bruiser Brody is another of those true legends in this great sport of professional wrestling. We are very proud of people like Frank Brody, what they achieved, what they gave to our sport. The referee had no choice but to disqualify both men fighting outside the ring, and he didn't want to even come close to these two gladiators, and which we don't blame.
I'll tell you, when you got these two guys going at it, there's
the specialty, the chair. Yeah. No one could use that chair to his advantage more than this man.
I tell you, Bruiser Brody was a chair expert. If anybody could wield a chair with a lot of tenacity and violence, it was Frank Brody, and they're trying to battle over the chair, but look at him, he's still beating Abdullah on the head with that chair. Hey, he's a chair expert.
Well, one time I wrestled against Bruiser Brody, Carlos Colon and me against him and his manager, And I got hit on the back, knocked me out cold. I was in pain for over 6 months. Did he ever hit you, Mr. X, with a chair?
Well, I can personally say I never experienced the chair myself, but then again.
So you are a wrestler. You are a wrestler.
I was a wrestler.
Okay.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I witnessed him use a chair on several occasions, and I've never seen anybody hit anybody any harder with a chair than Bruiser Brody. And, you know, what can I say? There's only going to be one Frank Brody, regardless of whatever happens throughout the history of professional wrestling.
There will be only one Bruiser Brody, and there will be only one Abdullah the Butcher. No question about that. Now he's got the boot. He's all over. The big man from Sudan. Match has been thrown out, and Abdullah heads back into the dressing room. Here comes Brody. It's all over, and we're going to go to another exciting match. Meanwhile, Brody, it's get ready in case Abdullah comes back. Stay tuned. More action coming up.